Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today, we're gonna be making the Charlie Chaplin. This is a simple 3-ingredient cocktail. And I know sometimes when I say something simple or easy, a lot of times people think it's actually not that easy. But this one, I'm telling you, it is very easy and it's very refreshing and it is low ABV. So if you're looking for a summer refreshing cocktail that isn't too boozy, and I'm gonna be honest with you, summer drinks, in my opinion, are best when they're slightly lower in booze. It's good to stay hydrated. So we've got 3 ingredients, very easy build. Obviously, it's a classic with a name like Charlie Chaplin, so we'll talk about that. So stick around. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes, and let's go make the Charlie Chaplin. To the bar. Everybody knows who Charlie Chaplin was. He was a famous silent movie star, but he did so much more than that. He was London-born, actor, director. He directed his own films, author, musician, composer. He composed his own music. The guy was a true talent. No longer with us. He passed away in 1977. So he would have been very old. He was born in 1889. So that's what happens with our bodies eventually. The Charlie Chaplin cocktail was originally served at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. This was pre-1920s. And I say pre-1920s because in 1920, you had the American Prohibition, and that lasted for 13 years until 1933. So they were serving it before this. However, you don't see print of the cocktail until 1935. Actually, it could be 1934 or 1935. It was in a book called The Old Waldorf Astoria Hotel Cocktail Book. Is that right? By Albert Stevens Crockett. Before we get to the recipe, I want to point this out. I think it's interesting that it's called the Old Waldorf Astoria Cocktail Book because a lot happened between 1920 and the time this book came out in the mid-1930s. Number one, you had Prohibition, came and went, but also the Waldorf Astoria Hotel came and went and came back again. The Waldorf Astoria was torn down in 1929 to make way for the Empire State Building, and then a year later it was rebuilt elsewhere. So then you have the Waldorf Astoria, New York, which is still there today. And I found the hotel history fascinating. You know, originally it was the Waldorf and the Astoria Hotel right next to each other. 2 separate hotels that ended up merging, and then they tore it down. It's a fancy hotel, right? And then they tear it down. You have the Empire State Building, they rebuild it, still fancy. It's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, another rabbit hole for you to go down if you want to do that. I recommend that as well. So back to the cocktail. I keep, stay focused here, Anders. So it's very simple. You look at the recipe and it's equal parts lime juice, sloe gin, and apricot brandy. A couple things to mention here. No, why did I say a couple things to mention? Really one main thing to mention here. So a lot of those old cocktail books, when they say apricot brandy, they're actually referring to an apricot liqueur. In fact, today, people will even call apricot liqueurs or peach liqueurs apricot brandies or peach brandies. A true apricot brandy doesn't have any sugar added to it. It'd be an apricot eau de vie. It's gonna be very strong. It would not be a real sweet apricot flavor. And this cocktail needs that extra sugar to be balanced. So an apricot liqueur is what you wanna go with in this drink. Now the booze. Where are you guys going? To the bar. For those of you who don't read. On to the ingredients. Real simple. Don't overthink this, Anders. Don't overthink this. You got 3 things to say. Get it right. I love you. For this drink, we'll need sloe gin, apricot liqueur, and fresh lime juice. That's it. 3 ingredients, just like the cocktail book said. I'm not adding anything extra. And in fact, I'm keeping it all equal parts as well because it's really balanced. At first, you might look at this and say, well, it's gin-based. It's just a sloe gin, because that's what the bottle says. Sloe gin is not an actual gin. It's a gin-based liqueur made from sloe berries. It does have nice gin botanicals and a sweetness as well because sugar is added to it. The proof is lowered. It's not gin. Legally, it can't be gin. It's a liqueur. Same with apricot liqueur. That can't be a gin either, at all. It tastes like apricots. It's a liqueur, so it's sweet. So the base of this drink are 2 liqueurs that work really well together. All right, now I'm gonna get into a little bit of balancing theory. Now you might look at this and you see 2 sweet bottles and 1 citrus and think this drink is gonna be pretty sweet. In fact, it might be a little too sweet. But here's the deal. Liqueurs, yes, they're sweet, but they're not as sweet as syrup. If I'm balancing citrus with syrup, A good starting point is 1 to 1. Something really sweet, something really sour. You can, of course, adjust as needed, but that's a great starting point. With liqueurs, because they're not quite as sweet as syrups, a good starting point is 2 to 1. 2 parts liqueur to 1 part citrus. And that usually is gonna be pretty balanced. Different liqueurs are going to vary in sweetness, so keep that in mind. These are the bottles that I'm using. It balances out really well. In fact, you might find that you want it a little bit sweeter. We'll talk about that when we're sipping on it. You might find you want it a little more sour. Everybody's got their own taste. You guys can figure this out. In fact, you all know this already. Let's build. I've got my glassware chilled in the freezer as we speak, and we are gonna serve this up. Let's start with the sloe gin. 1 ounce of sloe gin. To that, let's add 1 ounce of apricot liqueur. And finally, 1 ounce of fresh lime juice. Pretty simple. I love the simple ones, you know, the simple drinks. Yeah, it's easy for you. You've got the ingredients. I only have a bottle of whiskey at home. Add ice and shake. Double strain into your chilled glass. Okay, so now for garnishing this, we don't need to have any garnish, but I've got some options, so I thought that I would. I've got a dehydrated lime wheel, which I think looks classy and elegant, but I am concerned it might be a little dark. What, does this look too autumnal? We could also do a fresh lime wheel, which is good, but I do that one a lot because it's really easy and it's played out. So I'm gonna go with this one. I could drop it right on top, but then it's gonna hit me in the face. See, this is why a lot of times I avoid garnishing. I'm going to clip it with my little clothespins. These actually are not for clothes. They're too small. How's that? Is that cool? It kind of has I feel like it has kind of like a flapper look. You know what I mean? Yeah. Charlie Chaplin for sure was around during the flappers, so. And this was really well thought out, Anders. That looks beautiful. I'm going with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Charlie Chaplin. Cheers. Oz, would you like to join me?
Yeah.
Right.
Hello.
Hello. Oz,
Ooh, how exciting.
I give you the Charles Chaplin
Ooh, okay.
cocktail from days of yore.
How beautiful. I love the color. Well, cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Ooh.
Okay, it's a good ooh.
No, yeah.
Nice.
It's good. Ooh. It's so refreshing. It tastes like a melted candy. It's not sweet. It's sour.
Uh-huh.
It tastes good. I love apricot.
Matt? Ooh, it gets you right here.
Right?
Yeah. I think this is a good summer drink for a number of reasons. Number one, it's bright and tart and refreshing. It's also lower ABV because it's liqueurs as the base instead of, you know, a stronger spirit. I like the lower ABV. I taste the sloe gin, I taste the apricot, and I taste the lime. It's simple, easy to throw together, easy to batch. There's just a million reasons why this is a great summer drink.
Not only that, it just tastes so good. It's like that sour, I'm salivating, thinking about my next sip.
I think if you need to make it a little sweeter, you could either drop back the lime juice, but I'd probably be more inclined to add like a bar spoon of simple syrup. It actually kind of reminds me of cranberry a little bit.
Oh, sure. I was gonna say it reminds me of ume, which is a Japanese plum. If you're familiar with umeshu, it's like that plum liqueur. Is it liqueur?
Yeah.
It's like wine.
Yeah,
it's not wine.
Right, it's a liqueur though.
It's
it's sugar. Yeah, in fact, the ume is actually more closely related to an apricot.
Yeah.
Good call. Anyway.
Just go and make the cocktail.
Try it.
Stop thinking about it, just do it.
Yes. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed this cocktail. Let us know in the comments down below if you try it. Don't forget your merch.
Don't forget your grenadine.
Don't forget your grenadine. Good call. Sign up for the newsletter. We will see you next time. Cheers.
Goodbye.